One of the most difficult parts in starting out in CAD is knowing where your tools are. In this lesson, we're going to go over navigating the toolbar, also known as the ribbon. So let's get into it. In the last lesson, we talked about origins and planes. Now we want to start using those planes, and we're going to start using tools inside of Fusion. That brings us to the whiteboard here and one of our first key terms, toolbar. And that's where those tools live. Throughout these lessons and chapters, I'm going to use ribbon as an interchangeable term with toolbar. I don't want you guys to get confused. They're exactly the same thing. I'm going to just use them interchangeably. So as we go into Fusion and we're going to pop up Fusion, the first thing we're going to see is just having that standard toolbar and ribbon in the top left corner. So we're going to look at that top left area. We're going to see create, automate, modify, assemble, all these different features that are in here in different menus. Additionally, we're going to see little tabs above it. So we're going to see solid, surface, mesh, sheet metal. These are just different tools, different drawers within the toolbox that we can kind of select. Now, one of the big things that we're going to see here is that underneath create, in the solid tab, we're going to see create sketch. And if I pop that up, it ends up showing us a quick dialogue of what that button does if we click it. So one of your big homeworks that you have throughout these lessons and chapters is that when you show descriptions like this, go ahead and read through them and understand all of these different tools that are kind of available for you to use. A lot of these are going to be really complex. We're not going to dive into them quite yet. They're going to be for later lessons and chapters. But to understand that they're available for you is a great way to kind of know as you're building on your skills, you can start trying to play with them until you get more frustrated. So in here, we have create sketch, we have extrude, revolve, sweep. You also see that there's additional tools that are up in that ribbon that are kind of pre-selected and available. So you see extrude up here and also down here. The way that we can kind of change this and manipulate it is through these three little dots here on the corner. If I select this, I can pin to the toolbar. So adding it up there essentially adds create sketch to a quick click, so I don't have to do that drop-down menu. I typically do this. I recommend doing it because creating a sketch is the first step to building any part or feature within Autodesk Fusion. So you're going to use it a lot, so you don't have to go in the menu as much. You can also add pin shortcuts, so you can create shortcut keys and stuff to certain things that you use often, so that it's a little bit even faster. So once we have this pinned up here to the toolbar, I'm going to go ahead and create sketch. So one thing that we see here is that we don't have any of the tools that we use to sketch right now. We don't have circles, lines, you're missing dimensions, constraints. A lot of the stuff that we talked about in the last lesson, you don't even see here in the toolbox. And the reason is that we're not actively sketching right now. Once we create an active sketch and we select a plane, what we're going to see is a new tab pop up that says sketch, and now we see all of the tools that we were missing from the very beginning. We see our lines, our circles, our constraints pop up. We see inspection tools. Additionally, we see this sketch palette over here that pop up on the right side. So it's an important thing to understand that it's a common mistake that I see a lot is they don't understand where their tools went, right? I don't know where my lines went or my circles went. I was just drawing and now they're gone all of a sudden. And the reason is a lot of people accidentally click either finish sketch down here or finish sketch up here. When you finish your sketch, that tab disappears and the sketch is now logged within your history, but you don't have that palette anymore. You don't have the tools showing up anymore, and people get very confused about it. The way you get it back is just reopen your sketch. Go ahead and click edit. You can do that through two different ways. The first way is you can come over here to your browser, or I like to call a tree, and we can drop down the menu to sketch, and you can right click on that sketch and click edit sketch here. Another way, and this is going to bring us to our board for our second key term for this lesson, is your timeline or roadmap, like I like to call it. That's going to be in the very bottom left corner of your CAD, and this is always going to be the same thing kind of throughout all the different CAD softwares, is you're going to see down here a little play button, and you're going to see some rewind and fast forward buttons, as well as that sketch. Same thing goes with the tree. You can right click on this, click edit sketch, and that allows you to see that ribbon pop back up, as well as the sketch palette, and you can get all of your tools back. This is a great way to come back in here. We can add a circle back to that origin, and then we can finish our sketch. Now, one of the most important things that that timeline or that roadmap does for you is that it is a history of what you've done so far to create that part or that model that's in here. And this allows you to rewind all the way back to the beginning before you created a single sketch, or midway through your process, or all the way back to the end. And you do that through a couple different methods. You can click right here on this rewind button, and you can see it here to previous step, move to the beginning, or move to the end pops up. And that can essentially create that sketch or rewind past that sketch. If I move this marker, I can also click and drag and move over here. I can click and move it in front of that sketch. And right now, in this history, we don't see sketch up here in our tree anymore. It's like it didn't exist at all. We can add it back in. So we click this and we move it back over. We can see the sketch pop back up. We can see sketch show back up here. Now, the most important thing is that the big reason that I like to use this timeline is not apparent yet. It's going to make a lot more sense as we build out a lot of features and sketches and have more complex parts. We're going to use this to edit our parts and change things and features in the background. It's also going to be a great way that if your part does break, say you didn't create a sketch correctly or you made a reference to something that no longer exists, then you can use this history, this timeline, this roadmap to go back and correct those little things without just starting all the way from scratch. We're going to use this a lot as we get into further chapters and further lessons. So that is it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to start using the toolbox to create some drawings and have some constraints and dimensions. So we'll see you on the next lesson.